Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society, Episode 10. Hello, and welcome. Brother Uriah, as you are standing up on the top of the governor's mansion, you see Vladeska Drakov, ruler of Falkovnia in general, and Lekar in particular, rush forward and leap onto this mass of zombies that has built up to form this gigantic conglomeration that is attempting to smash through the walls. And as she jumps on it, hacking away with her sword, you see chunks of it falling off into the city and reanimating as zombies. Give me a perception check, Brother Uriah.
Of course. An 11. This is all a bit much.
As you are standing there looking over all of this, Brother Uriah, you notice on the roof of the house that Hildy was on, she is gone.
Oh, no. Can I make my way there?
You absolutely can. Zombies have begun fanning out into the streets of the Northern District where you and all of your friends are fighting, but for the most part, the defenses are holding. On the roof of every house are usually younger or infirm people with bows and arrows and slings throwing rocks at them. On street to street, commoners are fighting with reinforced by the Talons, who all fight bravely and efficiently. It'll take some doing, but you could probably get to her house.
Yes, I will endeavor to do so, and I shall call upon the grace of Ezra and cast protection from evil upon myself.
Absolutely. As you do, you hear screaming and chaos from all sides as the undead are pressing in and people are dying all around you. But as you get near her house, you see several of the windows of the modest accommodations are already busted in, and one of the doors is cracked in as well.
Very well. I shall marshal my courage and charge forward to see if I can help.
As you get closer, you hear, "Ha! Ha! Stay back! Ha!" coming from inside. And as you approach, you see inside the house, Hildy with her oversized metal helmet on her head, slinging her sling stones at two of the zombies that are inside her house.
I shall attempt to get within range and cast Sacred Flame upon one of them.
Absolutely. As you hold your hand up, this pitiful creature erupts into flames immediately. And Hildy actually screams and jumps back and covers her eyes for a second and says, Uriah, you came. I knew you'd come.
Yes, Hildy, over here, quickly. Get behind me.
No, it's Muti. I can't leave him. And you see on the bed behind her, the old man that was with her when you met, laying, tossing and turning in his bed.
Very well. I will try to get in between the remaining undead and two of them.
One of them swings at you pitifully, missing wildly as you get closer over, and you see she is covered in scrapes and scratches and bruises and is like fumbling to reload her sling as one of these other ones comes towards you and also just attempts to swing, and arm just clangs against your shield emblazoned with the glory of Ezra.
I call out, I am protected by the Lady of the Mist's foul things. You will not have them.
Yeah! However, Brother Uriah, give me another perception check.
$12.
What you don't see come up from behind you, quite unfortunately for you, Brother Uriah, is Muti raises up off the bed and flings himself onto your back and bites you viciously, unfortunately with a natural 20.
But he is at disadvantage, I'm afraid.
He is at disadvantage due to your protection. However, he rolled high enough that he still accomplishes his bite, but it will not be A natural 20 this time, thankfully, brother. Your Ezra provides.
Good.
He is only bitten you for 4 points of damage, but you do feel his undead fangs bite deeply into your neck. And
Oh,
Hildy screams, Multi! Multi, no! No! What would you like to do, brother Uriah?
How many of these things are within range of my turn undead ability?
There are 2, but you are aware that more of them are closing in on the house, shambling through the streets, now attracted by the scent of fresh blood and panic.
Very well. If possible, I will try to usher Hildy ahead of me. Are there stairs in this house?
There are not. It is a simple one-room affair. Outside the door is pitched battle.
Very well. I'll try to get Hildy behind me.
What's wrong with Moody? Why did he bite you? What's he doing? Moody,
I'm sorry,
Moody,
Hildy.
Stop! Moody,
I'm
stop!
I'm sorry, Hildy. He's not your mutti anymore. And I will cast Sacred Flame on another of them.
Excellent. Another one erupts into flames, and you see she drops her sling and reaches into her vest and pulls out the golden ticket. Says, Muti, no, we're going to the carnival. We're going to the carnival tomorrow. You remember, you wanted to see the games. You said you were going to show me how strong you are. Which, of course, brother Uriah, you know Muti is gone. His eyes are blank, and he pulls his teeth out of your neck and rotates over and looks at this little girl who is pleading with him and immediately begins moving in her direction.
Hildy, I'm sorry. He is gone. He is dead. He is one of them. I shall cast Sacred Flame upon him.
He erupts into flames as well and begins stumbling backwards and bumps against the wall, which immediately ignites as she covers her head. It's like, no, brother Uriah, you've got to help him. You're a healer. They told me you're a healer. You can do something.
He is gone, Hildy. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Come, we must flee. We must flee while we may.
Brother Uriah, as you grab her hand, as she frantically fights against you, you turn in the doorway. 5 of them are coming your direction.
Very well. I shall call upon and channel the divinity of Ezra and attempt to turn them.
What does it look like when you turn undead, brother Uriah?
I raise aloft my holy symbol and actually brandish the one that is upon my shield. It glows, and a radiance erupts outwards, searing their eyes, filling them with the terror of Ezra's grace. Back to your graves!
And you do see they do begin to move back away from you, not able to come any closer, as the corpse of Muti falls to the ground as the flames are reaching out around this house. And you hear from outside, and through one of the other walls, Eber, the boar, who is covered in gore and scratches and burns. I heard the child screaming.
Yes, thank you. A very, very timely entrance. Quickly, we must keep her safe.
No, I gotta go. Moti. And he reaches down around her waist and picks her up and says, might I escort you out of here, holy man?
Yes, if you'd be so kind.
And as you all move out into the streets, you look up, brother Uriah, and chaos is erupting in the streets of Lakar. And hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 10, A Symptom of Man's Failure. Of course, this is a Ravenloft game. It is a horror-themed campaign, and as such, there is content in this game that you might not see in other streams, up to and including, unfortunately, things like death and loss of family and child endangerment at times. So be advised there. As always, I've discussed with the cast. I'm aware of their lines and veils. We have a safety system in place where they can notify me if something becomes too heavy. So if a scene or a circumstance should shift abruptly, it's probably because somebody has given me the sign. Before we dive in too further into this, let us meet our cast, beginning with Brother Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir, and I'm playing Brother Uriah, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
And Finn.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I am playing Fen, your Drow Dumpier Blood Hunter. Pronouns are she, her, and find me everywhere Cypher too.
Tatiana.
Oh, this is a fun order. Hi, I'm Becca Scott. You can find me at the Becca Scott and at Good Time Society on all the things. And I am Titania here.
And Desmond.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. Pronouns he, him. I'm playing Desmond, your human ranger. Like him through. We like to have fun here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Find me everywhere as DJ Knight.
Valentine.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet or Pixel Circus. Tonight I will be Valentine. Valentine is an aberrant mind sorcerer, reborn, hiding scars under her jewels.
And last but certainly not least, Nahara.
Hi everyone, I'm Nora Ibrahim, and my pronouns are she, her. You could find me at Norological on all the things. And tonight on this game, I play Nahara, a reborn fallen Azamar undead warlock who, can I announce now that we did our thing? Your brand new Bardlock. Dun, 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 dun.
It's, I wonder which college remains to be seen, I suppose. Before we get back into our story, I'd of course like to thank all of our sponsors, starting with Die Hard Dice. Custom sets for each of our characters were available. A number of them are sold out now, but at a link that is hopefully being dropped into chat right now. Take a look at the rest of them. They are, of course, all incredible, and you can use code BDS at checkout to get 10% off of our sets and all the other incredible things at dieharddice.com. Our TeePublic store is live. There's shirts, bags, masks, mugs, pillows, anything that you can want is at our TeePublic store, which again is the links hopefully being dropped into chat. Secret Labs, I love mine. It's like riding around in the den all of the time. Idle Champions, of course, if you put !code into chat right now, you can get your code for a free chest from Idle Champions. Of course, we have a Patreon where you can get early access to our podcast, our exclusive weekly after show, all new original content. Right now, we were sharing with everyone our bonus episode, The Morning Rail. We're almost, for Eberron fans out there, it is an Eberron-themed episode. We are nearly at our next goal where we will do another bonus episode. So let us know what you guys would like. We're taking requests. Maybe a little Spelljammer crossover. I don't know. Anything is possible in the mists. As always, you're welcome to join us on our Discord as well. We're on all the social media platforms. All of them have different handles, unfortunately, because it wasn't possible to get them all. But I will just say one last thing. Thank you all for tuning in. Please do like, comment, share. Those things really do make a difference. It really affects the algorithm. It really does help us. Thank you so very much. You all
Pretty
have found
intro?
your... Yes, that probably is a good time for us to run the intro.
Boom!
Trebi.
You all are in Falkovnia, in the last remaining city of Lakar, on the night of the new moon, when the undead hordes come rushing out of the mists to lay waste to every living thing. You all were sent here tasked with the recovery of 4 members of the carnival troupe to find out had they simply gone AWOL, and if so, to deliver them back to face the judgment that would be waiting for them there. And if they were in trouble, to help them get back. And it became quickly apparent that they were, in fact, in Lakar and that they have been taken into custody by Vladeska Drakov. There is, of course, only one punishment for crime in Lakar, and that is impaling. So really, by the fact that you all arrived when you did, you had already saved their lives because they were destined to meet their end on the morning of the new moon. Unfortunately, as you posed as diplomats from Darkon, maybe not posing quite as much as you thought you were posing, you all were tasked to aid in the defense of Lakar, and in the process, possibly earning the glorious distinction of being a true born of Falkovnia for having fought gloriously in its defense. And the Dark Lord of Falkovnia, Vladeska Drakov, gave you her word that should you fight gloriously and survive, she would deliver these 4 prisoners to you at dawn, and you would have her permission to go. In the midst of this, having discovered that someone bearing a striking resemblance to Nahara, so striking that she's been informed from multiple different sources now that it basically was her, was killed here some time ago, and her death is what set this entire calamity in motion. Her death gained the attention of Count Strahd von Zarovich due to an unknown end who helped bring this plague down upon them, or at least so King Azalin Rex has said, and so Vladeska Drakov appears to believe. Now, Finn and Nahara are up on the city walls on the North District, fighting where the zombie clot is attacking, and Vladeska Drakov herself has joined the battle. Tatiana and Desmond were down on the ground, already hacking and slashing at its horrific leg that had come over and the zombies that are falling off of it. Brother Uriah was up on Overwatch with Valentine, but has come down into the streets as well to attempt to get Hildy out of her now burning home containing the body of her now very dead grandfather, as Valentine stands over watching all of this. Valentine, we will start with you. As you were here on the governor's mansion, the Dark Lord and her talons having joined the battle, Nahara and Finn flying around doing battle as well with your friends down in the streets, and now Brother Uriah seemingly isolated but reinforced by one of Falkovnia's primal serum volunteers, Eber, to assist him. What is Valentine doing?
Where is Tatiana located on the battlefield? She's within field of sight right there, right?
You can see her. She is at the base of one of the walls, fighting alongside Desmond.
Okay. I would like to just shoot off a firebolt in that direction to kind of knock into the horde coming towards them.
Perfect.
Can I see where because I know Brother Uriah was up there with me and where he's headed down through that staircase. Was that indoor or was that an outdoor staircase?
He went outside. Give me a perception check to see if you're aware of that or not. A lot of things are happening.
18.
You are aware of where he went. You can see him outside of this house, and you see zombies turn back and fleeing from him as he is stepping forward with his shield. You also, with an 18, can see that Eber, this were-boar, is holding Hildy, who is frantically scrambling, trying to get back into a burning house.
Whew, okay. I might redirect that fireball. Now, the person holding Hildy, the burning person that Uriah was keeping her from going towards, is that person still standing?
No, she's basically, her house has gone up in flames or is in the process of going up in flames.
Yeah.
However, she is like trying to go back into the burning house is what you can see. Also, Valentine, something that has occurred to you since you are nothing if not a tactician. There are a number of highly flammable barrels
Right.
around there. And this house is now very much on fire.
Noted. Are any of them relatively close to the child and Uriah?
Not that you could tell.
And it will be a character choice and not me being bad at names that I will choose to only address it by the child.
Hildy.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Right. Yes.
Well then, if there is one that is close enough to the house that I could potentially hit it to finish flattening the house, but not hit Brother Uriah and Hildy.
To detonate one of the barrels on purpose.
Yes.
Give me another perception check.
She can't run back into the house if there's no house. I'm being protective.
I like where your head's at.
It's a 14.
You can spot one that you believe is far enough away that it should not hurt them. It's kind of like at one of like back corner of the house where they're coming out of the front and are actively leaving.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to shoot my fire bolt there instead.
Detonation. Excellent. Brother Uriah, give me a con save. Desmond and Tatiana also give me con saves. You can do so with advantage.
If I can, I want to say that my telepathic speech, it is a bonus action. With my telepathic speech, I would warn Uriah.
What exactly are you going to warn him?
That house is going down.
Excellent.
Advantage for that?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage for that. Sure.
Tatiana
been given
has
heads up.
23. You
Perfect.
cannot mess with her now bare form.
Perfect. Desmond?
11.
11. That's well, okay. I will account for your current lycanthropic state. And brother Uriah?
My best was a 15.
Perfect. Brother Uriah, as you are ushering her out, and again, although she's squirming and fighting, she's no match for this hulking man who you see is very much like 99999. Be quiet, child. It's okay. It's going to be fine. And she's crying incoherently, rambling in a language that you don't quite understand, honestly. And an explosion goes off that is bright enough to cast shadows against the cobblestone streets of Lakar as the house just erupts in a pillar of flames that all of you see. You all are able to essentially still yourself, and you see for a moment even the zombies attempt to react. You've all been fighting them long enough. They're fairly mindless, like they just keep coming forward. But even they stop for a second. Nahara and Finn, up on the wall where you see Vladeska Drakov hacking at this, you all see this explosion goes off, and she looks over and is like, 99999. What would the two of you like to do?
Is there a way to get to her?
Oh yes, absolutely. Especially because you are flying in your dread form. She is basically on the chest of this zombie clot. Just
I'm not helping her.
Wow. Well, I mean, if she's on the chest, she's doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually circle back to where Nahara is and check on her.
Mm-hmm. Nahara, you see Finn come flying over.
I'm going to attempt to fly up away from this zombie thing. And is there a high enough place to land where I'm still away from zombies but close to my friends if I need to?
Well, that
pew pew things.
That is basically where Valentine is. She is up on the top of the governor's mansion, kind of in the center of all of this. So yes, there is such a place.
Okay, I'll go fly up there.
Okay.
Because I'm not helping Vladeska.
Wow. Are there civilians?
You can fly.
I know, but it's just like I came to check on you, and you're just like deuces. I'm out.
and I love you for that. However,
I guess I'm gonna follow Nahara then. I'm not staying with the zombies.
Finn, give me a perception check.
Oh boy. I'm gonna try the digital dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get advantage on perception.
Excellent.
Roll. Joe, 20, dirty 20.
Perfect. So recall the walls are 40 feet high and 30 feet thick. I mean, it is a significant fortification. However, you notice down along one of the walls, maybe 150 feet away from where Desmond and Tatiana are here fighting at the base of it, you see there is a group of common people that are attempting to escape through a crack in the wall.
Oh.
You see running through.
Are there zombies basically once they get through?
There would be. You especially from your point, not only are there zombies waiting for them on the other side of the wall, if the wall is compromised, the zombies will come through there.
Oh boy. I'm going to go then help them escape by distracting the zombies.
So they're kind of on the city side going through, and they'll emerge on the outside where the oncoming hordes are. You're going to try and cause a distraction for them out there?
Yeah, or does warning them actually make a difference, or are they just going to get eaten by zombies regardless?
I mean, it could. You are aware of just there's zombies as far as you can see all the way back to the mist outside the wall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go down and warn them and be like, no. Bad things are out there.
Is you come flying, you see they hesitate, and a couple of them point bows and arrows at you because you are in your dread form, but they hesitate for a moment, and they're like, you are some sort of dark angel, yeah?
Could be.
Well, we have found a way to escape here. We can be free from all of this.
Except there's a lot of zombies once you get through that wall.
There are a lot of zombies in here, he said, motioning over to where your other friends are fighting in the zombie clot that's like right over there.
Well, I mean, just so you know, there's zombies between you and the mist. So if you get out, you'll get out, zombies will get in.
As you are floating over saying that, one of them looks at you and is like, I'll take my chances, and goes running towards the wall, and immediately you hear and you see zombies come out, start pouring out of this crack in the wall, and they fall back and start shooting at them, but you realize the wall's compromised here.
Yeah, and I'm guessing there's nothing I can pull and bring to block the wall.
You could try.
If they get out of my way, I'll try.
Yeah, there are all over the place. There was like makeshift fortifications and things that exactly were for street to street combat. Also, Tatiana and Desmond, who are very strong, are nearby. They're about 100 feet away.
So if I yell, would they hear me?
I could say you would be able to get their attention. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I yell for them. I need help.
However, Tatiana and Desmond, give me perception checks. Let's see, because a lot is happening in the city right now.
Natural 20.
It's like radar, Tatiana.
Yeah. My friend, she needs me, and I will be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Desmond, you hear it also.
He looks up and just.
Mm-hmm. And
because he's still wolfed out.
Down the wall, you see zombies coming through a crack into the city, and you see Finn flying over them, like yelling for you frantically. What would you two like to do?
Oh, Desmond leaps, just hurls himself in that direction.
After slaughtering a zombie, I turn and I run full speed, making bear noises as I go, which we all know clearly it's a sound that we all are familiar with, a bear noise.
As one does. Finn, you see they're coming this direction. What would you like to do?
I just kind of point at them and I point toward anything we can pull to try to at least block this off. Hopefully those people who are trying to run got out the way.
Excellent. Desmond, Tatiana, you gonna try and help barricade it?
Absolutely. I see the hand signals with my 20 perception. I know exactly what she wants to happen. And I want to leap in the air and land with my feet shoving a big barrel first.
Perfect.
Like sliding into home base.
Give me an athletics check. You do have advantage because we will assume you're still raging. Desmond, what are you doing? Because zombies are coming through while she's trying to do this.
Desmond's just trying to smash any of the zombies that get through.
When you run in and start, give me an attack roll here. Give me 2 attack rolls.
I have a 19 for my athletics check.
Perfect. You are able to start pushing some heavy things in that direction, but it's going to take a second. Tatiana, as you start pushing, you hear a voice next to you say, "Would you like some help, sister?"
I turn. Who is speaking?
It is Katse, the were-tiger, who is covered in blood and gore, and her fur's all matted. It's like it's not clear if it's just her blood that is on her. "I will assist you, yeah."
Katya, yes. I find her animalistic, gore-covered fur to be completely sexy.
It's a mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
You see, she leans next to you too, and there's a wagon that the two of you are able to start pushing. Desmond, how did you do over there?
I got caught up and hadn't even done the things. 6 and 12.
Excellent. And what's your AC right now?
Oh no, 13.
You sink your claws
Actually,
into.
apparently,
Yes.
is looking at the actual after it did the pluses. It's 11 and 17. My bad.
Okay, perfect. Your claws easily find some of these zombies. Unfortunately, you also get hit twice for 8 points of damage as they are clawing and battering you here as you are attempting to plug this hole. And you hear from next to you, "Brother, we fight as a pack, yeah?"
Just looks over and just.
And you see out of the darkness, Jaeger walks over holding his greatsword. "We push them back through the hole, yeah? Then they block. Good plan, I think." And he starts stabbing and slashing at these things too here, trying to cut a path for Katse and Tatiana to push the wagon over and block it. Brother Uriah, meanwhile, as the house is in flames and your ears are ringing, you see the zombies beginning to file over the walls. Ledeska Drakov is fighting bravely, but she's only one person, especially as she continues cutting hunks off of this thing. They hit the ground and are just reanimating and coming forward.
I yell to the wereball, "We must get the child to safety." I will raise my eyes of the grave and essentially use it as a Geiger counter of sorts, so heading in a direction where I'm not getting undead pings.
You start to move kind of through the city in a way that you're sort of going away from these things. And then you get a terrible sinking feeling, Brother Uriah. You begin sensing undead again underneath you. They're under the street.
I'll yell that to my companion. And also, I'm going to attempt to try to calm Hildy down.
Just
persuasion roll?
It will be with disadvantage. She is a child in a war zone who has just witnessed the death of the only person she's ever loved.
Very well. I say to her, "Hildy, I'm so very sorry, but Muti was already gone. Do you see all of these things? Do you think that none of them had loved ones, family? Their shells is all that they are. Muti is in a better place now. He is with his gods."
but I was supposed to fight to save him. I was there.
You fought bravely. You fought bravely, but he was not killed by them. You kept them away from him, and you did your job.
I want to fight. I don't want to hide.
Yes, but we must get to a more strategic location. Yes, that's it. Follow me. I'm going to head back up to the vantage point that Valentine and I had.
Excellent. Nahara and Valentine, here on the high vantage point, you can see all of this transpiring up to and including Brother Uriah beating an odd path over towards you, and then he stops for a moment. In Valentine, yes, Brother Uriah.
That's an 18 on that persuasion.
Excellent. A good soldier follows orders. Yeah, yes. You're ordering me to fall back. Yeah.
Yes. Fall back strategically. Fall back.
We're strategically retreating. We are not running. I'm not running because I'm scared.
We're not running. Now run.
As you see them heading your way, Valentine, you hear, "Oh, that is adorable. He saved the little girl." I have to tell you, when I saw her immediately, I was like, that child will not survive. And I suppose the night's not over, especially considering...
Considering...
Oh, that the city is breached. It's almost certainly lost. I assumed you knew. They're underground. They're in the sewers.
Above game, that was something that the people on the ground could feel. This is the first I'm hearing about it, isn't it?
Yeah, the Brother Uriah knew it because of his divine sense. Tregram is very much like, obviously you knew that. Why wouldn't you know that? Yeah, because Tregram does have his own stats and senses.
Now, previously, you had suggested that the city might fall and it might create a vacuum.
Yes.
I don't think this is a city that we want to lead.
Upon reflection, I think you may be right. What about that delicious Hagen fellow? He'd intended to make sure Vladeska Drakov dies tonight. Is that good for us, bad for us? Do we care, really?
I don't think either of them are going to survive this. If they're going to fight until they defend the city, until they send back the hordes, and the city is lost, then they'll both fight to the death.
That does seem like a pickle. I think you should stay up here on the high ground, and when the time comes to escape, maybe try, although the problem is there are quite a number of undead on all sides, so we just have to hold out till dawn. I guess. Or whatever.
Should we get everyone else off the ground? Not everyone else in the city. I don't intend to bring every soldier up here. I mean, our companions.
They do so enjoy fisticuffs, but it was harder to get overwhelmed and eaten if you have the high ground. That is true.
I don't.
Finn travels quickly. Maybe see what she thinks.
I think we're already overwhelmed, and it's our first real fight.
Quick check-in. You do want them to survive, right? I mean, your companions. I know it's these other people. Who knows what's fate's gonna befall them, but we are trying at least to get the 6 of you through the night, correct?
Yes.
Just making sure, because I have to recalibrate on occasion. Yes.
Yes. I would like them and the child they've become fond of to be able to leave with us.
Are we getting a pet? Nahara has that delightful brain in a jar. Do we get one too? I mean, isn't a child not but a brain in a jar with legs?
Children are somehow even more trouble than Stuart, so I'm going to say it's a no for that. But to avoid the aftermath that would come of Hildy being endangered or worse, I think it's best we get the child out as well.
I am, of course, at your disposal. For what it's worth, it seems like things are going fairly well for Tatiana over there. She and that delectable Desmond have been reinforced by some of those delightful creatures. The wolf and the tiger, I think. I swear they had names. I wasn't listening. I didn't care. But I believe they're there helping now.
Great. They keep making friends. All right.
You're the one that wants to rescue a child.
I am not the one who. I'm not going to argue with you about this.
Yes, no. I think at least keep Finn and Nahara close. They can fly, so if you have to beat a hasty exit, they're probably your easiest method of escape.
I'm going to message to Fen. Fen was flying. I should be able to be.
You can see her. You can reach her.
Shot of Fen. Fen, the zombies are under the city.
Okay.
The undead have filled the sewers. They are under the city. There is no chance that we out-punch that many zombies.
Yeah, a little busy here trying to keep some zombies out. So what are you suggesting?
I am suggesting that we give up on trying to keep the zombies out because they are more in than we could have possibly expected, and that we all find somewhere to stow away until we can get the hell out of here.
Both Valentine and Finn give me insight checks.
Uh, 16.
16.
15.
You're not 100% sure, but especially you realize now, Finn, when that explosion went off, Valentine, when you detonated that barrel, when Vladeska Drakov reacted the way she did with the no, it wasn't no like this is tragic. It was more like not yet.
Oh.
However, there are a lot of people in the Northern District, up to and including Brother Uriah, Desmond, and Tatiana.
Well, Desmond and Tatiana are with me now, correct?
Well, they're at the base of the wall fighting with the lycanthropes. You're flying overhead as they're trying to block this. You're near them, yes. You're all still in the Northern District.
Well, we got separated from Brother Uriah. We're still in this conversation, yeah.
Brother Uriah is with Hildy. I believe they are both currently safe. I can get as many people as possible to gather back here at the governor's mansion, but I can't help you fight these things. All of you are stronger fighters than I am, and so is the entire rest of this city, and not one of them stands a chance. There is no reason to die for this city.
Is this Valentine being practical or Valentine being, I want to get out of here?
If I just wanted to get out of here, I would leave and I would not tell you.
I guess. Fine, what is it you need me to do?
I need you to not die and help our friends not die. If you can get them away from the wall and out of here, we could detonate the barrels early and let the city fall, or we could just find somewhere to simply hide.
Or we could kill Vladeska Drakov.
The fight does not end. It's fine if you'd prefer to kill her, but then what?
How about a compromise? We hide out in the governor's mansion the morning we kill her. After all, she did kill Nahara, or some form of Nahara.
Sure.
We get revenge for our friend. We survive, and then we hope we can block out the screaming.
I'm always in favor of revenge. Currently, I'm in favor of you getting away from the more undead than the rest of us.
I'm undead too.
More undead than the rest of us.
All right. Well, can you do the talking in head thing with the others? That way they're not surprised.
Are they all within range?
What's your range?
Oh, that's a good question. I should know that, shouldn't I? Well, it is 30 feet.
Yeah, Tatiana and Desmond are definitely out of range. However, Nahara has flown up while you're surveying all of this.
And I do have a message.
Message will go further.
So then I'll send the info up to Nahara, relay the same information that the undead have taken the sewers. I also think that we should find a better thing to call them, all things considered, but we'll figure that out another time. They're under the city.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. Okay. All right, so this has become a mission of self-preservation then, yes?
Yes, correct. And preservation of Desmond and Tatiana and Brother Uriah. Fen is aware.
All of us, yes, absolutely. Right then. So you said Fen already knows.
Fen already knows, so it's just Desmond and it's just Desmond and Tatiana, because Brother Uriah seems to be heading back this way. I'm sure I'll be able to see him heading back this way.
Brother.
The moment that I arrive, I'm shouting. I sort of. Oh no, I'm not there yet. All right.
Not yet. Brother Uriah, give me a perception check.
I've yet to make one of these.
I believe in you.
17 this time.
As you are running back through here, you get to one of the main checkpoints. There was a garrison of Talons right outside the Bastion Ward. Recall, Lakar is basically a city of concentric squares where the city has grown out over time. The central area is the governor's mansion. Right, surrounded by that is the Bastion Ward, which was the old merchant district. That is now where the Talons live. That is where all of you were staying. Outside of that, there are the different wards of the city. There's the River Ward, which is abandoned because it fell during the last siege. And you all are in the northern district right now. Recall, Lakar is a huge city. I showed you the map last time. There was a garrison posted at the gates to the Bastion Ward because they're the last line of defense to protect both Vladeska Drakov and all the other Talons. And that is where the hospital is. That is where Hagen was stationed when you all met him before. Brother Uriah, as you approach, the gate is undefended and open.
I turn to Eba. That is not a good sign.
9 is not a good sign. That's the Talons. If they were here stationed, if there was combat, there should be bloodshed, but I smell nothing.
We've got to get Hildy to safety first. Valentine's just up there on the roof.
And Valentine, at this moment, Brother Uriah is within range for you to contact him.
I shout as they're under the streets.
As he shouts, I'll be shouting the same thing into his head.
Oh, you know. In any case, quickly up these stairs, Hildy. Valentine, this is Hildy.
You see, she looks very much like just shell-shocked and stunned. She's like, "I'm prepared to fight. Tell me when to start with the slanging. I'm ready to fight."
Yes, Hildy. I'll let you know. Eba, you've got to warn your fellows.
Yeah, I do.
"You very brave," and he like claps you on the arm like very roughly, and like gets down on all fours and begins like lopping through the cities. Like through the streets.
"I'll find my brother and my sister."
Valentine, how did you know the sewers, the undead?
The undead are a specialty of mine.
I couldn't help but detect a rather lengthy ellipse in that sentence.
You would notice there's a war going on, right?
Yes.
Plenty of distractions.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Excellent.
But
if you're coming back up, how close would you be at this point?
Yeah, he's actively like heading back up the stairs to get there. Yeah.
The rest of the party is coming to join us here. The city is going to fall. We cannot take all of them from the sewers, and I do not intend to die for this city.
But certainly, perhaps the exits from the sewers could be blocked. There must be some way.
Can you do it? Can you block them?
No, but
No, neither can
there is-
I.
But the
I want to
talents-
drop down behind Uriah at this moment.
Yeah, you absolutely are there.
Yeah.
Presumably, Nahara has left to deliver the message to Desmond
Well-
and yes. Mm-hmm.
My question was, because it's 120-foot range, and I was wondering for the question for you, B. Dave,
Yes.
if Fen and I were to work together, could we swoop down and pick up each one of our party and bring them back to safety?
I mean, they are both heavy. Possibly. It would take some doing, especially Desmond in this particular form is a full-scale lycanthrope at this moment, but it would be possible.
I think Desmond could probably jump up on the roof before we could carry him.
As of
But
this,
maybe
as of-
Tatiana or...
I would say to message them, you would need to fly at least some distance, because recall they moved down the wall, which was 200 feet away, to help block this
Right.
crack. So you would need to go. I mean, you could do so fairly easily, but you would have to move away from this location to reach them.
Yes. Okay.
Give
so then-
me an insight check, Nahara.
14.
I don't think that's quite enough for you to realize something. So that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
However, as you were departing to deliver that message, yes, Finn, you drop down behind Uriah and are up there with Valentine, and you see Hildy turns and looks at you, and she just kind of holds out the golden ticket that she still has like balled up in her fist and doesn't say anything.
I pick her up because she's a little kid, right?
Yeah, she's a little kid. You could easily pick her up.
I pick her up and I just help her put the ticket away, and I look at Brother Uriah. Do you trust me?
Yes, of course, Finn.
So would I have to like hold Brother Uriah around the waist too, or could I like hold him almost by the scruff? If I want to fly over to where Valentine is.
Oh, he's there. Yeah, no, the three of you
Or
were
the
at
governor's mansion.
Yeah. The three of you were there. He's made it back.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna swoop away with him.
No.
The rest of
You
them are
probably
coming to
could. He
join us.
probably weighs about 120 soaking wet.
The rest
well-
of them are coming to join us. We just need to make it to the morning. And unless you and the child want to fall with the city, we can't keep fighting.
Oh, no. The city will never fall. No, La Cause forever. Vladeska Drakov will lead us to victory.
I cast suggestion and tell her to sleep.
Just in your arms, she just sort of goes limp.
She's fine.
What did you do to her?
I told her to take a nap. She's a child. They need those, don't they?
I'm not sure that was absolutely necessary. I was getting through to her.
I understand, but I think that she would handle it all a little better after a sleep.
Perhaps.
She wakes up screaming.
Then I'll cast it again. I
No.
am trying to not let a child get killed, and you must understand that's awfully uncharacteristic, which means this is important.
Valentine, I've seen you act for a child's benefit before. You may pretend that you do not care, but I know you were trying to spare her. Very well. We need to gather the others, yes?
I believe that
Barrett,
Nahara
yeah.
is on it.
And barricade ourselves in and hope for the best until morning.
Brother
I will-
Uriah, when she says that, you recall the fact you all are currently undefended. The gate is open. No one's there. If the zombies come this way, they will walk right in.
There's a bit of an issue with the gate. The guards seem to have vanished. We may need to hold that position.
Well, we need the gate open for Tatiana and Desmond to get in.
Well, yes, of course, but what I'm
after
saying
that-
is we may need to take their place. For our own sakes, if not for anyone else's. Though I think we could save some lives by doing so.
As much as I hate to admit it, Valentine has a point. There's no point in us dying.
Well, no, but we will if that gate is
Yes.
unguarded.
It's a governor's mansion. Shouldn't there be something here that's like a bunker of some kind?
Well, there was apparently a heavily armed squad of Talons guarding that gate, but now it's currently open and there's no one there. So, at the very least, we have to close that.
Okay.
Brother Uriah, your ambient undead sense
It should still be active, actually, yes.
begins to radiate from the direction of the hospital.
Oh, gods, no. Oh, the sick and the dying, of course. We have a problem. And he points towards the hospital.
Meanwhile, Nahara, when you message Tatiana and Desmond, what do you say to them?
I'll message Desmond first. Desmond, look up. So, change of plans. There happens to be a ton of zombies below us, below the ground. We're outnumbered. New mission. We are all just wanting to survive, and really what happens to this town, I don't think we can save it. So we should save ourselves. What do you think?
Right.
We're all gathering at the governor's mansion. Are you all right?
I see
Not hurt, are
Desmond
you?
and I react. What is it, Wolfman? Help barricade. Oh,
Tatiana.
yes.
Hi. Listen, there's a lot of zombies underground. We're all surrounded. It really looks like we cannot take these all of these zombies on our own.
Katsi,
Really ought to
follow
just save
me.
ourselves.
I want to go and find these 4 circus people, the ones that we promised as old we'd bring back, and I want to keep them with me.
Want to go and try and stage a
Do you
jailbreak?
know what they look like?
They look like they are from circus. Whoever we say, the car is great and they don't cheer, that's them.
All right, I'll stay close by. Because
Okay.
I do want to stay. If there's any way that I could stick around, just so I could, even at the very least, relay messages back and forth, so that our team knows we're all safe. And I do want to help, just find these people.
Desmond, as you see that Tatiana is about to leave, and you all have plugged this crack, at least temporarily, but theoretically, if the zombies keep pressing for the other side, it will give and they will come in through here.
Knowing that, like he still heard that plain and clear. Just
He's
he's raged. He's like, I want to fight right now, but
Are you okay?
he does
What's
believe in his pack,
happening?
so he.
Desmond, give me, and Tatiana also, both give me insight checks.
I will not. I'm just gonna have to start rolling these diehard dice.
Is 7. I am raging.
You both got yeah, but that's fine. Blunt instruments all the way. Yes, Desmond. What are you doing? Presented with this quandary, which again you comprehend.
He gets it. He's raged, but he gets it,
Mhm.
and he does believe in his pack. So he knows that if it is suggested by one of the team that we leave, we should leave. So he just frustratingly just he looks at the mansion and he just like crouches and just leaps and just like is bounding his way to the mansion.
As he goes jumping away and you're calling for Katse, you see Jaeger looks at her and says something in a language that you don't understand and just motions for her to go with you. And he just stands there in front of this barricade that you all have constructed that is already shaking with the sword.
He goes, I hold, yeah? No problem. Only a few more hours. Go, he's good.
I slap him with appreciation on arm and head towards jail.
As you are moving, Katza is next to you, and she's like,
What are you intending? Is there's a battle now? We must be fighting.
And hearing that, Desmond just like kind of calms down a bit and just
City lost beneath us.
He summed it up as good. I'm on our all fours, kind of like imbibing that spirit of the bear within me, you know?
as you are running through here, Tatiana, a zombie comes hurtling off the top of the wall and crashes into you for only 1 point of damage. However, that's with you raging. I counted for this. However, I do need a wisdom save.
Wisdom, huh? That's rude.
As the Berserker Axe is out and working, you have been harmed.
All right, I do have danger sense, though.
Yeah, that does
But this
not
is
affect
wisdom,
this.
not dex. Okay.
This is wisdom, not dex.
Okay,
Yep.
rude. 17.
You feel the white hot fury of revenge flame up inside of you, but you are able to temporarily
All right, I forgot.
put it to the side.
I have a berserker axe, and she cursed. That's right.
Meanwhile, Brother Uriah, Valentine, and Finn, Brother Uriah, you do in fact have a problem. You have two problems. Currently, the gate is undefended, and something is going wrong at the hospital.
I'm detecting undead activity at the hospital. Question. In our observations of all these barrels,
Yes.
where do they seem to be situated? Are there barrels situated here inside this compound?
There are none inside the compound or in the Bastion Ward. They are only out in the populated areas.
Right. So if Vladimir Drakov decides it's time to implement her explosive plan, this would be a safe place to be. Very
Exactly.
well. I let the others know that that's what's happening at the hospital, and suggest that perhaps we need to get that gate shut the moment that our companions show up. Hildy is currently where?
Hildy is with you, is sleeping in Finn's arms, in fact, because Finn had said she picked her up, and then Valentine put her to sleep, and she's clearly sleeping. You're aware that she hasn't been harmed. She was ready to fight, and then...
Very well. I think our best bet might be to try to block the exit from the hospital. I fear, given how much activity am I detecting? I can detect any undead within range, so...
You are starting to catch on to the fact they are under the ground. Obviously, the mass of them is at the wall where Vladimir Drakov and her personal retinue of Talons are still on the wall fighting. There are currently... you feel the presence increasing at the hospital, which you realize would be happening if people were dying and reanimating. Whatever is happening is going wrong. However, over by the hospital, you also see thunder and lightning forms for a second, and a lightning bolt comes down over in the direction of the hospital.
I think we'd best see what's going on over there.
Brother Uriah, give me insight with advantage.
Insight, you say? 21.
A thought pops into your mind that sends ice water through your veins, Brother Uriah. It is
More ice water than usual?
more ice water than usual by implication. Because a shrewd tactical genius that you yourself are not necessarily accustomed to possessing forces its way into your mind, and for a fraction of a second you see this battlefield like pieces on a chessboard, like pawns in a game, like a king might look at this. And you realize, if the Northern Ward is lost, if it's not possible to save these people, if Vladeska Drakov is going to detonate that part of the city, it may be possible to detonate the city while she's still over there.
Oh. That's an utterly chilling thought. I do my best to force it away.
It was like a strange visitor, Uriah.
Yes, but I suppose it could work. No, there may be people who need help at the hospital. We need to go there.
Gonna head towards the hospital?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
The hospital, just for clarification, the hospital is in the Bastion Ward. The hospital is here where it theoretically should be safe. It was where the place for both wounded commoners and wounded Talons to be brought back to be patched up. Yeah.
If we're going to try to barricade ourselves in here, we can't afford to let a new source of undead spill out within it.
But it already is. What are you going to do?
Attempt to seal the door if no one can be saved?
All right.
Why don't we just burn it down if they're already undead?
Perhaps, but in any case, it needs to be dealt with. We can't just let them all spill forth
You're right.
behind our walls.
You are. Okay. Then
I will say Desmond and Tatiana have not arrived yet, but they are within messaging range. As you see them coming your way, they're having to evade and, quite frankly, stop and kill a lot of zombies along the way. But they are heading over.
fine, Brother Uriah, I will go with you to the hospital, but we are not going to go in there and try and heal every sick person. We can't.
I fear it is far too late for that.
Okay.
Nahara, give me a perception check.
19, dirty 20.
As you are flying overhead, you also see that unguarded gate where the Talons are gone and the gate is open to the Bastion Ward.
Is a lock present that it's just not closed, or
no? It's a huge gate. I mean, like, it could theoretically be barred from the other side, but it is currently undefended, which means the Bastion Ward and the Governor's Mansion are undefended.
Is this a gate that I would be able to close alone, or do I need help?
Tatiana and Desmond could probably help you.
Okay. I will fly over to, well, Desmond's has made his way over.
Yeah, he's right. You're a little faster than him because you're flying, but I mean, he's coming along the ground, and so is Tatiana.
Okay. Whoever I could reach first. There's a gate open, and I'm afraid if we don't close it, it will put all of us even more in danger. Would you be able to help me shut it?
Just says,
Would I say?
he's just like, where's the gate?
And I'll also relay to Tatiana. Tatiana, there's a gate that's open, and if we don't shut it, it will let even more in, and we'll be all in danger. We won't be able to wait it out unless we can get it shut.
I don't understand. I have to get more people. It's why we come to this land in the first place.
I know, and I will help you, I promise, but we need to, if we want to survive, we need to shut this gate.
Is Valentine there?
Yes, I'll help you.
Yep. Valentine is
safe.
Yeah, she's up on the Governor's Mansion, which you would know. Yeah, honestly, you probably could see her by this point, standing on the roof of this.
Oh no.
However, this if the gate is undefended, she's undefended. That is something you would understand.
As soon as I understand that, rage, things are a little muddy. As soon as I notice that, I immediately change course and run for the gate.
Desmond and Tatiana, as you come running that direction, you see from back behind the gate, 2 of the Talons step out. It is Freya and Hagen, the 2 who should be defending this, and they both have their swords in their hands. Nein. Was is the problem? You are not needed here.
Freya, it is I. It is Tatiana, and we must close this gate.
Nein, Tatiana. The gate must remain open in order for the plan to succeed.
I need to know your plan because my friends need to be kept safe. I can only help you if you tell me information.
You see, Hagen looks and he's like,
The Darkonians, I do not understand the way of your thinking. Listen, I realize it sounds barbaric, but we will allow the undead to sweep into the Bastion Ward, and they will be able to overtake the governor's mansion. Vladeska Drakov is mighty, but she cannot fight the hordes alone. We will go to safety, she will be overrun, and the morning the zombies will depart, and we will pick up the pieces anew.
This is your great plan. How will you have anyone left to rule if you kill all of them?
No, the strongest of our Kovnia. They will all survive. Yeah. Of course, many of the commoners will die, but many of the commoners will die no matter what. At least we can have ultimate victory with the desk of Vladeska Drakov.
Hagen, you are sad and pathetic, and you disgust me. Freya, you stand with this man?
I stand with Val Kovnia.
You are fools.
and they both pick up their swords.
You will not stop us.
Do I see any of this?
Oh yeah, you see all of it. Yeah, you see all of it.
I go
If
for
I
Hagen
see
first.
somebody with if I see somebody even put like their hand up like they're about to throw hands, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast them.
Well, both Hagen and Freya are squaring off in front of Desmond and Tatiana. They're like,
You cannot be allowed to interfere in these matters. We have no quarrels with you, Draconian, but you will not close these gates.
I am not from Darkovnia! And I slam my Berserker Axe right on Hagen's head.
all right. So
And I Eldritch Blast the other dude. The other.
you're gonna Eldritch Blast Freya, all right?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Desmond, what is Desmond doing during this?
Desmond is attacking whoever's stunned immediately.
Well, I mean, they're both pretty spry. They're trained. You have the Hagen.
Whoever gets hit, that's who Desmond's hitting.
All right. Well, all of
And
you
whoever's
roll your
closest,
attacks
like-
here.
Let's do it.
Yep. Excellent.
17 to hit.
All right. Perfect. And Tatiana.
That's a 13.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Perfect. Let me see here. I just need to get something. It's like, I thought you were my friend. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Tatiana, you swing forward and your axe just clangs against Hagen's shield like it's nothing. What you got? Who were you attacking? Nahara.
Freya.
And you got what to attack?
A 17.
Your Eldritch Blast arcs towards her, and she just puts her arm in the way, and it just like hits her, and she just kind of grunts for a second, and she looks up at you, Tatiana, and she's like,
So much more I should have taught you. Now I must pluck the wings from your angel.
what did you get, Desmond?
19.
19. Against which one of them?
Freya.
Okay. 19 is also not enough to hit her. Your claws just scrape against her as you do. And what is your AC, Tatiana?
15.
Hagen hits you for 11 points of damage. And
I think it's halved as I'm raging.
Yes, that is not accounting for being halved. So 5 is what you actually take. Nahara, you see Freya while fighting with Desmond as he's swinging at her, draws her bow and arrow and shoots at you, but misses wildly. Meanwhile, back up on the roof, Finn, were you also going with them to the hospital? Actually, you are muted, ma'am. And actually, do give me a perception check, Finn, especially because you can fly.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Ye old perception. Yo, the dice are against me. That's with advantage.
It's a 9.
Yep.
You are not aware of the scuffle at the gates as you all are making your way over towards the hospital. But you do see multiple bolts of lightning coming down out of the sky over in the direction of the hospital as you all are moving over. But Finn, you flying, unless you consciously choose to slow down, you will get there before them. So are you going full speed, or are you trying to stay together?
I'm kind of hovering over them because I've now got an arm full of sleeping child.
Right.
Perfect. And when I see the lightning, I call out and it's like, hey, hold on, this isn't normal.
And she is absolutely KO'd, by the way. As anyone who has ever held an actual sleeping child, they weigh about 3 times as much because they just go completely limp. Like, it's like literally all hell is breaking loose.
We're in the governor's room.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let her be zombie food.
We're protecting the place.
How the gates open?
We're working on it.
It's best to keep her with us, I think.
As you guys get a little closer, Fionn, you see this first, especially because you're flying, even if you slow down. You see outside of the hospital where there is chaos. There's Talons fighting, there's commoners fighting. Some of them are wrapped up in bandages, hobbling around, and several of them are clearly undead. And Bjorn Horseman is standing in the clearing, and you see swirling his hands, and the lightning bolts are coming down and just like pounding into groups of zombies out in front of the hospital. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna yell for Valentine to use fire.
Valentine, you see the same scene. So what has happened is there was a house that was recommissioned to turn into a hospital for the common people, and there's basically a tent for the injured Talons. It looks like the zombies are originating out of the tent for the injured Talons. Probably, Brother Uriah, you especially realize this. Probably one of them was infected, succumbed to his wounds as they were trying to treat him, turned into a zombie, and then you know how quickly it spreads.
So just to clarify, so no one can be mad at me, you want me to blow up the tent?
Yes, and if Uriah can yell to warn them that fire's incoming, that'd be great.
Yes, of course.
Fire is incoming.
Herr Horseman, watch yourself.
Thus? And what do you do, Valentine?
Incoming.
I roll a dirty 20 to firebolt it.
You just one firebolt into the tent?
How sturdy does it look?
It's like a military grade campaign tent, you know. It's kind of like a heavy burlap type thing. It probably has rooms inside for you, wager maybe about 16 beds.
All right, then I will twin spell it. I'll use a sorcery point to twin spell that. So I'll launch 2 firebolts.
Hitting it is not difficult. It's a tent. It's not going to try and get away from you. But give me your damage here to see just how effective it is.
Perfect. Let me grab one. All right, that is 10 and 16 total.
Perfect. Your bolt comes out and splits in midair and hits at 2 different points, and you do hear the as it starts to go up, and you hear people yelling from inside, and Horseman is like, 9-9, come, run, we will protect you. Yeah, we will protect you. And you see people basically trying to pick themselves up off of broken legs and grievous wounds and are trying to make their way out. Finn, you see as some of these people are hobbling out, there's zombies right behind them. Some of them are already on fire as they're coming forward.
Well, I have no distance attacks, so I'm just gonna yell, "Run faster!"
Brother Uriah, as you witness this same scene playing out, what does Brother Uriah do?
I shall try to cast Sacred Flame upon the closest zombies to try to buy some time for those fleeing.
You all see Horseman holds his hands up and 5 beams of light erupt from his hand and like arc around people and slam into zombies as they're coming out. But you realize at least a few of them are not going to make it as they're trying to hobble out and the zombies are holding on to them as the tent just goes up in flames. You all hear people screaming inside and Horseman just kind of drops to his knees in front of it. He's like,
Horseman, the situation is dire. The undead are beneath the city. They're in the sewers.
What do you mean in the sewers? Vladeska Drakov has accounted for everything. There's no way that's possible unless...
I'm telling you, it's true. I can sense them. They're beneath us now.
He stands up for a second, is like just trying to look away from the flames is they're erupting into the sky. Valentine, you hear inside your head, now that was a good shot.
Thank you. It looks like many of them were able to get out, unfortunately.
Yes, but you did prevent a greater disaster, which I suppose is all we can hope for, right?
The greater disaster I'm trying to figure out now is those gates. Do you know of a place near here, if you are able to sense the zombies underground, do you know of there being a bunker of some kind, a panic room?
Bad news about the gates. Tatiana and Desmond and Nahara are actively under attack by those, what we thought were our friends, Hagen and Freya. You know, they don't like Vladeska Drakov. We don't like Vladeska Drakov. They've come to blows over it, though, so...
At the gate?
Yes.
I'll start running towards the gate.
Finn and Brother Uriah, especially Brother Uriah, as you're attempting to get through to Bjorn Horseman, who is covered in soot and sweat and blood here, and Finn is holding this child, you two see Valentine turns on her heels and starts running. You are muted, Brother Uriah.
Valentine, where are you? Well, no, I glanced towards the gate, and Uriah actually is in the forefront of his mind. He wants to know if that's closed yet. Can he see it from where he is?
This would be some distance away. Give me perception. It's possible.
I too will roll a perception, but I'm rolling real dice.
Yep.
I don't trust you, digital dice, today.
I understand. They give it and they take it away.
They were good to me. 24 on a perception.
With a 24, you don't see the gate, but what you do see, Brother Uriah, especially having a pretty good sense of the city, is Nahara swoop in and arrows go arcing up into the sky past her, and you're aware that zombies don't shoot arrows.
Yes. Herr Horseman, you can keep them from escaping the hospital? You have sufficient spells to keep them at bay?
Yeah. None of them shall depart the hospital.
Good. Just keep in mind, they may attack from beneath us at any moment.
Yeah, I will attempt to warn my fellow sorcerers, but if what you say is true and they are underneath the city, there's very little we can do.
The lycanthropes have been informed, but I must see to my friends.
Yeah.
Dash off in that direction.
With a dirty 20, you also perceive what Uriah sees, Finn. You cannot make out the gate as such, but you are aware that Nahara is fighting something over that direction.
I'm just gonna go full speed. Can I grab Uriah on the way? Because I'm guessing I'm faster while flying, even while holding this small human.
I would especially because we've established he is a skinny boy, that you definitely can like give him a little bit of a boost here. Meanwhile, back over at the gate, Tatiana, what are you going to do? Being engaged with Hagen, you realize he is very well armed and very well armored, and does not seem to be afraid of you.
And he will not let me close this gate, huh?
He seems fairly resolute on the matter.
Parlay! Parlay! I hold my berserker axe to try and parry any blows.
Was do you want?
Okay, fine. You have your way, and we will make our escape from this place. Right, Desmond?
When he says, Desmond and Freya are just
Okay.
So Desmond, when she says this, how do you react? Because he stops for a moment, but Freya's still fighting.
Desmond is not gonna turn, just a grunt, because he's been fighting. He's fought before in lots of battles. He can talk in the middle of combat, but he also doesn't want to take the eyes off of somebody that's trying to kill him.
But do you stop your forward aggression though?
Yes, just like kind of waits to like see what the next move from Freya is gonna be, but
when you
does not take his eyes off of her.
Give me perception. You can give it with advantage, Desmond.
And I want to say to Hagen, we understand. You want to do away with Drakov and all of her followers. But now she is outside this gate and we are inside. You are my friends and I wish to protect you too if you stop being so stupid.
21 on that roll.
Desmond, you are aware Valentine, Uriah, and Finn are coming. You can smell them. They're getting closer.
Perfect.
If I see this altercation stop, could I message Tatiana?
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening?
What do? We need to get out of here. If he can't let us close the gate, if they are too strong, we need to find a place to go that is not here.
I agree with you. You really think that they're not going to let us close it?
Do you see their strength? Everything I have learned in the past day, it is from Freya.
That's a fair point. All right, so we retreat?
Nahara, when you say retreat,
the living fear death so much when it is the superior state of being. Would you like my assistance?
Why, yes, I would. Where have you been?
I've been at your side as always. You have not requested my counsel.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please do speak up next time, though, because sometimes I forget when we're in the middle of all of this.
If your intention is safety, the sacred place where your corpse was displayed bore no markers of conflict. Perhaps they cannot enter.
All right. We'll all be safe there. Okay. Yes, I'll let the others know. But what do we do about this gate and what do we do about... Is Vladeska outside of the city at this point?
Vladeska is on the wall, still fighting. Like, you can turn your head and you can see her. Like, her in the town, like, they are up there, like, trying to hold the wall.
Okay.
Yep.
I just got confused with the wording from a few minutes ago because I thought that she might have been outside. Okay.
Nope. She is
right,
outside of the area, like the governor's area, the Bastion Ward. She's outside of there, but she is on the wall of the city fighting. Very much fighting.
All right.
Can I roll to try and persuade Hagen?
Message.
You absolutely can. Meanwhile, Uriah, Finn, and Valentine, you are arriving, and brother Uriah, you see these two people with swords standing there, and both Tatiana and Desmond are both clearly injured. It's not necessarily clear if these two injured them or if they led up to this point, but that is the scene that you witness.
Uriah will actually uncharacteristically run in between the two fighting parties. What is going on? What madness is this?
And you see Hagen looks at Freya, and she just looks at you and she says, "We are doing what must be done, as we have always done and will always do."
You're not going to let them close the gate, but why?
Vladeska Drakov must die. She must die tonight, or this will continue to happen, and the undead will carve up Lakar and all of Alkovnia, and we will all perish by inches. Now, many will die tonight, yeah, but it will put an end to it, finally.
Why don't you just kill her?
She is a mighty warrior. It is not so easy to simply kill her.
But there's more of you.
Many of the Talons, many of the people of Lakar would gladly lay down their lives for her, as they still believe she is infallible. Some of us simply are aware of the fact that she has lost her way, and she will not listen to reason, so she will listen to force.
Uriah looks as though he's about to say something, then sort of stumbles forward, and then his body language changes as he straightens up. And he turns to both of them and says, "Your plan has merit, but a wise warrior always adapts to the circumstances. Think, both of you, where is Drakov now? Outside these walls. What else is outside these walls? The explosives, so lovingly hidden. It would be a shame if her plan was implemented prematurely, don't you think?"
And they just turn and look at each other and they're like, yeah, jawohl.
Good. Then I assume the gate may be closed if you will attend to certain business.
Hagen just like nods slowly and is like, yeah, you Darkonians are shrewd people.
Indeed.
And he turns and sees the three of you are that they're surrounded. And he just sort of like holds the sword up and he says, "I have no quarrel with you Darkonians. We will bar the gate and we will do what must be done."
I like other Uriah.
Mm.
No, but there's people out there. No, I'm sorry. I know.
Yep, come on. Yep, and I'm just gonna like try to usher him out from between the conflict.
I'm gonna message when I see that Uriah's kind of like back to his old self. I'm going to message him.
Mm-hmm.
Uriah, I have found out that we are safe in the place where we found my body.
Oh, the
We
temple.
must all go there. Yes.
Yes. I can't really. It was only
We'll
a
be safe.
passing thought. I didn't mean to suggest that. It wasn't me.
It's fine. Honestly, we can't take this city. We can't defeat what's coming. We can't defeat Vladeska. We must worry for our own safety.
If we can save one, I suppose. We have to keep Hildy safe at
If we
least.
can, that's... Yes. If we can.
She's not the only child in this city, you know.
I know. I know.
And
There's nothing
here,
more we can do.
having weighed an unthinkable, impossibly unavoidable course of action, is a good time for us to go to break. 10 minutes. Be right back. As you all are standing here at the gate, having convinced these members of the Talons to allow you all to bar the gate, how would you all like to proceed?
Are we able to
hang on 1 second. I almost did it again. Last week, I thought I would thank our patrons after the break and then proceeded not to. And then this week, I was getting back into my grim mindset and I almost forgot to again. Before we proceed, I would be remiss if I did not thank our Dark Lords of the Dread Domains, which are our top sponsors, our patrons on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/The Black Dice Society. Thank you all so very much for your support. You literally make it possible to do what we do. So let me run through it real quick. Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Ruff, Brian Dwyer, a.k.a. Nightsfall, Brian Kepi, Chip Reynolds, Chris Smoot, D. Nicole, Ducati, Dustin Crail, Philippe Souza Conago, Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Hell Knight Games, Joshua Lund, Just Link, Kira Snow, Lucier Trueblade, who had messaged me again how to say their name again. And I'm pretty sure I still didn't do it right. Michael Skidmore, Mr. Albert, Nathan Crowder, Project Wolf Bear, Rob Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Sin 7, Sip Happens, to Queen B, Thomas, Tracer Vision, and Zort 1. Thank you all so very much for your support. Sorry that I didn't give you a shout out last week, but we did do it during the after show. And again, we're almost to our next milestone when we'll do another bonus episode. Yes. Now, Finn, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask, once the door is shut, is there a way for us to assist blowing up these barrels?
Oh yes, absolutely there are. Anybody that's got a ranged fire-based attack would be able to hit one. They're all over the place in the northern district. There's bows and arrows too. You realize they're going to shoot flaming arrows is their plan.
Yeah, I've also got like a dead weight of a small human latched onto me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm unwittingly
down somewhere.
We're going to talk about child endangerment later, Valentine.
No, we've got one of those child harness thingies that don't look awful at all.
Yeah,
don't you have Stuart in that?
I have Stuart and a Bjorn.
Yep. The brain is kind of rocked to the side where it's floating sideways in the canister there. Yes, they do in fact shut the doors. As the zombies are spreading through the northern district, they will theoretically be held at the gate at least long enough for this to work.
If Fen is looking to relieve herself of that burden, Uriah sort of silently comes forward and just takes Hildy from her. He seems a little unnerved.
And I just, like, for a second, I actually hold on to Hildy and I look at Uriah. It happened again.
No.
Can I trust you with her?
Yes, I certainly hope so.
I hope so too, for your sake. And I let her go, and I actually I think I want only Uriah to see this, but I give her like a small kiss on the forehead.
Absolutely. She is grimy and there's salt crystals from sweat on her head, but underneath she is
too.
Yep. Oh, everyone's filthy at this point.
Even Katze. Did she make it this far with us?
She's all along. You haven't seen her actually.
It's a shame. I look around. Not Katya.
Mm-hmm. When you all were heading back towards the gates, she was with you, and somewhere along the way, you lost track of her.
It's a shame, but she must have had a mighty battle to fight, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Where is our physical location now? Have Desmond and I come up on the roof?
If you would like to. Again, the gate is barred. You all could go to the roof. That is the highest vantage point. You're aware some of the Talons are massing up there with flaming bows and arrows, getting ready to do it, as there is still actively street to street and house to house fighting in the northern district.
Are there any visible zombies on the streets inside this Bastion district, inside the gate we closed?
No, the only ones that had gotten loose, as far as you're aware of, were the ones at the hospital, which have been contained. Theoretically, there are some street, but if they are, they have not come out yet.
I will keep watch for them from the roof. If I see them, I will come down and fight them.
Okay. Yes, Nahara.
Given that I'd given Brother Uriah the information about the temple, I'm guessing I would not have had time to relay that to everybody else.
I mean,
before they made their way.
Yeah, if you just say it, yeah, you could tell any of them. I mean, because you all are all together.
Yeah.
Once after they bar the door, Hagen and Freya, set about their work. Like they don't stay there with you.
Okay, I didn't know if anybody had already taken off.
Yeah, you would have a chance to say it before.
Okay, I would, because if Tatiana still decides to go up there, like, cool, but I would like to have let everybody have known that the temple is a safe spot.
Then I will follow your lead, Nahara. You know things. You're wise.
Something occurs to me, Nahara.
Yes.
If it was the death of the former you that caused all of this, is it possible that it was your corpse that was keeping them at bay?
Well, not necessarily, because the Falconians knew that at the next, was it full moon or new moon?
New moon.
At the next new moon, that there would be an attack, and that was before we'd found my corpse.
No, I meant keeping them. What makes you think that the temple will be safe? Just its construction, or?
Oh, I was told so.
By whom?
It's a weird thing to say. You need to give better answer.
You know, we haven't been fully acquainted, but they have not let me down.
Oh, it wasn't Stuart, was it? Was it Stuart?
Oh no, it was Stuart that told you that. It's 100% Stuart.
It might have been Stuart, yes.
Oh.
You've been talking to Brain and Jar whole time?
Didn't you?
No, I didn't talk to Brain and Jar. Weird Cat talked to me, but I don't think it's related.
Am I close enough to hear this?
Oh, you're all hearing all of
Okay.
this.
Well, sometimes I do.
What?
See, I assumed everybody.
He
I was
mostly talks
honestly
that.
joking. I didn't think. Are you telling me that Stuart is holding
Well, yes,
conversations?
I absolutely pick up Stuart out of my little sling. Oh yeah.
A spectral hand appears in front of your face, Brother Uriah, and just goes and vanishes.
Well, then perhaps you can ask him why Stuart thinks that it is a safe place.
Oh, he mentioned something about the undead fearing the living, right? Was that it, right? Was that it?
No.
Oh, I got it wrong. What was it?
The undead do not fear the living.
Very important point, yes. The unfeared do not fear the living. Yes. But what does that have to do with the temple?
I simply said it had been untouched in the battle when no other place in the city had. The holy man may be right about why. Maybe it is your body that holds them at bay.
Okay, this temple is safe. We go to the temple.
Right.
Nahara, we're only getting your half of this conversation. What exactly is he telling you?
Well, that you may be right. But the temple is untouched by undead.
Okay, but no, you're saying we had this ceremony. We put your body in the ground. You wouldn't let us burn it. It's probably for best, but now we need your other body back.
It is just in front of the temple. It may serve as a ward. I'm not really sure. We'd have to test it, but of course, testing it in this case could lead to our deaths.
Perhaps we just stand
Right,
above
Stuart,
it.
there's a bit. Stuart, there's a bit of a problem, you see. It seems as though, well, you were there. My body is not there anymore. It's on the ground, just outside. Are we still safe?
I am no mystic. I don't know the range by which your corpse, underutilized as it is, might offer protection.
Nahara, please forgive me. I'm going to
Isn't
start.
it?
I'm going to start digging. I'm going to run there and I'm going to start digging for her
Well,
body.
you guys aren't there yet. Although before we proceed too quickly, Valentine's leaving. You were trying to say something. That's all.
Oh no, that was just me being like at Tatiana, thinking maybe we just stand above the body.
So the temple is outside of the Bastion Ward. It is not in the northern district where that is about to be blown up. It is in a different area of the city.
Right, so there's no explosives at least.
Oh, there? Oh, we go. Oh, but we just worked so hard. I did not want to kill Freya, and that was very difficult.
Well, they started attacking you.
Well, technically, I started it.
Oh, perhaps we should lay blame later and first make our way to the temple.
Yes.
Yes.
A request for my friends who fly in the air. Perhaps you fly over, see if ground above grave is hallowed, so to speak, by these creatures. If they're not standing on it, perhaps we can.
Yes, I'll go do that. Hello.
Nahara, are you or Finn? Are you going to go as well? Or are you letting Nahara go by herself?
I was gonna go, but if Nahara wants to go alone.
Perfect. Nahara, as you fly over, the city is being attacked on all sides. It is going demonstrably worse in the north. It is difficult to figure out, are more of the undead attacking the north because Vladeska Drakov is there, or is she there because more are attacking? It's like that this city is losing in the northern district. The temple is in the east, where the walls appear to be holding. As you fly over the temple, it is very calm and the earth is undisturbed.
Splendid. Could I just start uncovering a little bit of dirt
It takes
until I see that shroud?
a couple of just a minute or two to dig down, and you do see the silk shroud, which still looks oddly pristine despite being covered by the earth.
I slowly uncover it and staring at myself.
It looks like you're asleep.
I would like to take one of those feathers from my wings.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have as I am leaving myself here. And as I look down at myself, I reach down into my belongings. Valeska Drakov, you will meet your end by my hands, whether it is this body or my last. And I take out that gem that I have.
Mm-hmm. From the body taker
I
plant.
place it over my heart. Put the shroud over slowly and cover myself back up.
You do it easily.
And I will make my way into the temple. I'm assuming everyone's following
Well,
along.
you were sent to scout, so unless you give them the high sign somehow.
Okay. I'll fly back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
will fly back and I will say, well, after some reconnaissance, the temple will be just fine. We'll be perfectly safe there.
Oh, good.
And your body was undisturbed?
Undisturbed, and it apparently affects a wide area. We should be safe.
How do you... well, let's just get there first.
Okay, you are holding small child. Desmond, you take front, I take back. We group together. Stay close. Of course, you should fly if you can fly.
As you all move through the city, you all see the scene that Nahara saw, where the city is being attacked on all sides, but everywhere but the north, the defenses are holding. You see up on the governor's mansion as you are leaving, and the Falcons are lining up with their bows and arrows and watching you all run. Tatiana, you see Freya looks at you and she just goes,
Symbol back for her.
as you all are running through and you can see the temple within range as you're getting close, you hear loose. All of you give me dex saves.
I get advantage.
That's true.
23.
18.
22.
23, 18,
13.
Oh, was I flying
13.
away?
Yeah, you're flying. Well, I mean, presumably you were flying. But still, these are big explosions.
18.
Brother Uriah,
13 as well.
13. And Desmond,
23 was the dex save.
23. Who got 13? Okay, and what was that? And Valentine and Brother Uriah both 13s. Desmond and Tatiana, as these explosions begin to ripple and you can feel the ground shaking and you see shockwaves begin to go off, it becomes very clear that Valentine and Brother Uriah are not going to make it. They won't get to the door in time.
I pick up Valentine and throw her like child over shoulder.
Desmond grabs Brother Uriah, puts him over his shoulders, and just
Oh, it's child too.
I'll keep a grasp on Hildy.
You
Oh,
hold
God.
on. Let's see. Whew. Is you all rush into the temple. You turn and you see blinding light starting to come from the north side of the city as like the explosion gets brighter and brighter, and it is deafeningly loud as you slam the door to the temple and the whole thing shakes and there's silence.
I lay Valentine nicely down on floor. Mistress, I would never let you get hurt.
Thank you, Tatiana.
I guess you could stand. You don't have to lay down. It's fine.
I will get up. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just going to look around. Everybody made it in.
Brother,
Desmond
you
hears a voice from over his shoulder. Yes, and thank you, Desmond. Could you put me down as well?
he just kind of kneels slowly.
Thank you.
Brother Uriah, you are aware as you're standing here in this calm, serene place that, at least to the north, many of the undead you were feeling the presence of are extinguished. But you also know there was many people over there that were not undead.
Monstrous. It's utterly monstrous.
That was the plan all along.
I just put my hand on Uriah's shoulder.
She always planned for the city to fall. She was protecting this camp only.
She was protecting herself only.
Yes.
She was willing to sacrifice as many of her people as it took.
Yes.
She is scum. They are all scum. I want to get out of this villainous place.
I do too, but what do we do about the prisoners?
Suppose we.
What section of the bastion's inner walls was the jail in?
The jail is very much there in the inner area. It is not clear where the prison is. You all were given a tour and it was never pointed out to you. You have been told, at least theoretically, at dawn, the zombies will just leave.
We could go back for them then.
We must wait till morning and then see what is right. I look at sweet little Hildy at her face while she's still asleep. Just think about all the children that were still inside the car.
And hearing this whole conversation, Desmond just kind of like calms down and just slowly turns back into human form. There's like his fur just kind of like sucks itself back into his skin, and he's kind of just. It's really hard to stay mad when everybody in here is just feeling all somber. What is this? It sucks what they did to the city. It truly does, but I don't think there's anything we could have done to change that. They planned that before we ever set foot here.
I mean, they plan to let their own die and suffer and the strong survive. They didn't care about us or anyone else. They would have let us all die with them.
Of course.
And that makes me very concerned about the people we came here to get.
Yes.
If they didn't care about us, then they kind of conscripted our assistance.
What is more, I fear this cavalier attitude towards the well-being of the average citizen is held by both factions. So the question remains, who will be standing when the dust settles? Ledeska Drakov or this cabal of fifth columnists?
By the way that it's going out there, it's also possible that neither are.
At this point, I would love to help the prisoners. I really would. But if we can't, I vote for just leaving this place.
We cannot think about what we can't do. We must try and do what we can do. We are powerful.
I don't argue with you. I don't argue with you on trying.
I will not accept defeat before we even tried.
Well, can it wait until the daylight when there's not hordes of zombies?
Oh, yes, no, I believe that.
Of
Yes, for sure.
Yes, obviously.
And then once Desmond hears like hordes of zombies, valid point, and he just give me a second. And he just like casts cure wounds on himself.
Yes, is anyone else injured?
I am hurt slightly, but it makes me tougher.
Well, if you're sure,
Oh,
then
muted.
I'll attend to a wound I received earlier. I will also cast your wounds.
Brother Uriah, you noticed Desmond do that. You've never seen him do that before.
I see you were paying close attention in the medical tent, Desmond.
Not close enough. I didn't heal anywhere near as much as I needed to, but something's better than none. And you got some skills. I try to learn where possible,
Fascinating. I've heard that rangers are capable of performing curative magic.
Well, if you're in the woods, you get attacked by an animal. Like I knew the basics before, but being able to practice with you and the other healers kind of reminded me about a lot of that. But it's kind of crucial. You get attacked by something in the woods and nobody's around to help because you're out there by yourself. You probably need to be able to help yourself out a little bit.
Well said. Tatiana, do you need assistance?
I mean, it is what you do, so I guess you can help me. I do look very badass covered in blood.
Well, the blood will still be there, but the wounds will be gone.
Oh, okay, then yes, I will take.
Very well.
Valentine, you were saying something?
I'd like to just pull Fen aside. What will the consequences be if we don't come back with those 4 people?
I don't know. What will the consequences be? GM.
I mean, you know, Isolde is largely unforgiving in such things, even though you have a special place in her heart. But remember, she also promised to deliver you to where you needed to go next. I will say, you know, she is nothing if not fair. So if you know that you tried your hardest and couldn't do it, she would accept that, especially if you felt like it was your life or theirs.
Tatiana, you may heal 11 points.
I don't need all that, but yes, thank you. It's very kind.
So with that in mind, with that meta knowledge, I just look at Valentine. If we explain what happened and why we may not have them, but I think we will at least find some of our people we're looking for. I don't know if there's any value in any of us going to look for them before daylight.
I certainly don't think so either. My concern is that in what's happening out there right now, if they've found their way to the prisoners and the prisoners have been turned or killed in general,
well,
we come back empty-handed. How do we move on?
I'm sure that if nothing else, Isolde will understand that if it was our lives, or mainly my life, or theirs, and we explain what Ledeska's plan is, or was, that she'll understand that better to get us back and to have unfortunately lost these people versus all of us dying in a mad woman's schemes.
All right.
She wanted to be the queen of nothing.
She did. I think a lot of people don't see average people as worth saving or worth the work of preserving in a world that works so hard to take them.
Yeah. Although if we can take Ledeska's head and the prisoners, all the better.
Here's hoping the other camp will have already done that by the morning.
Or that there's not enough left of her to take as proof.
Then, yes, Brother Uriah.
Question is, Hildy's not injured, is she?
She is not, and you know enough about magic that the mystical compulsion to sleep should have long since passed. So she's just sleeping like this. It's just the existential exhaustion but she is sleeping peacefully. You're a doctor. You're 100% sure she's not hurt. She's asleep. But yeah,
very well.
Because it's about 2 a.m. now. I mean, the fight didn't even start till midnight. So
I suppose I'll just try to make her comfortable. There must be a spare cloak or something that we can use to make a bed for her. The door is securely barred. Yes.
Yes. It is, and unless you all do anything, it is not at all a restful night. The sounds of battle and chaos echo in the distance all the way up until the sun rises, but no one lays a hand on this temple. When you open the door the next morning, there are thick black plumes of smoke rising out of the northern district. And you see injured people in the streets and rushing back home to check on loved ones and things of that nature. And the mood is somber, but Lakar has held.
Is Hildy awake, sleepy?
As dawn, she still has not. Well, she'll wake up. If somebody tries to wake her up, she'll wake up, but she sleeps through the night. She is bone exhausted.
I will wake her and some of my rations and water for her.
When you wake her, I'm ready. I'm ready for duty. I'm ready. Just where? I'm prepared.
You did very, very well, Lindy. You were very brave, and you followed orders. It's all any soldier can do.
You see, she turns and kind of like squints out and sees the daylight. Ah, it's daylight. We won. I have to run home and tell Moody that I.
I'm so sorry, my dear. I'm so very sorry. Is there anyone else here that can care for you?
9. My family lived in the river district from before. It was only Muti and I.
Then perhaps you should come with us. You want to go to the carnival. I think perhaps Sven could ask on your behalf if you might be able to stay there.
I will visit the carnival. Yeah, I has my ticket, but I should stay and fight for Falkovnia. That is what we do. We do not leave and move to the other places.
The decision is yours, of course, but no, it might be an option.
It was important to Muti that we go to the carnival. I will at least visit. You did not see how many of the zombies I did slay with the sling, so I got 8.
Well done. Very well done.
Muti thought I'd only get 6.
You've exceeded everyone's expectations, Cindy.
Desmond looks at her and says, I don't think I got 8 zombies. Great one.
When you see that, you do see she very much like chest out a little bit. She says, I will be the true born of Falkovnia in no time. You will see. She does look down at the rations, Brother Uriah, and she's like, do you mind if I have just a tiny bit of the cheese?
Oh, no, this is for you. You must eat. You must regain your strength.
For me?
Yes.
And she just reaches out and hugs you, squeezing with like all of the ferocity that she can muster.
That's a bit tight, Hildy. Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön.
And she does start quietly eating. As you all make your way out, and you stand in the streets and look around, over near the governor's quarters, you see 5 new posts have been erected, with 5 fresh bodies impaled on them.
I'm guessing we recognize them?
As you get a little closer, there is Hagen, Freya, and presumably some of their co-conspirators.
Tatiana, I'm sorry.
Tatiana feels a rage building inside her as she sees Freya's bulging eyes and the blood dripping from them. She reaches out for Valentine's hand.
I'll take her hand.
Yes, Desmond.
Felt that rage. Like, he doesn't know how, but he just knew and just like kind of leaned in and just, we watched them burn the city to the ground. Neither of these sides had a different choice for that. Don't get angry for her. Also, she did try to kill me, so I'm not exactly sad about it.
I know you are right in here, Desmond, but in my heart, I know she is the one who taught me my new skills. I could hear your thoughts when you were as a beast.
I knew something was different. I didn't know that was what it was.
I hear the birds right now. They are speaking. That was what Freya taught me before she made the wrong choices.
Did she, though?
Look, these were their bravest, yes? These were their warriors, and this is how they wound up. I'm glad that we're all safe.
I feel like this place won't exist after the next new moon. If this is how they treated everything now in the hospital, we all saw what happened with the hospital. There's no way that if this is what they do to people who don't stand and fight. Now, obviously, you put the deserters on the pike, but beyond that, like, oh, I got scared at the wall. Wouldn't impale them when it's the undead that are the problem. That logic doesn't stand. You don't have a city. You can't build and maintain an army if your aim is to kill everybody that gets scared for a minute.
In
Good
any
leader.
case,
That-
we know who has come out on top in this particular power struggle. And
Yes, you do know who has come out on top.
And you all see from the side of the temple, Vladeska Drakov comes forward. She is horrifically burned. Bone is visible in some places. And she is walking very heavily. And she has Katse with her, who just sort of like looks at all of you and nods. And she says,
I see you all have survived the night. I saw you fighting. Sehr gut. There's no shame to fall back to defend this position, yeah?
That's
Yes.
Tactics 101.
We have kept your temple safe.
Yeah.
we've fulfilled our end of the bargain.
Yeah, you have.
and she just motions. And you see Unge, the rat, who you didn't see all night from the very beginning of the fight, comes forward with 4 very colorfully dressed people that you immediately recognize, Finn, as Ace, Jack, Coin, and Cup from the carnival. They look terrified, but otherwise intact.
My gift to your king, Azal Rex, as a show of friendship, yeah?
Yes, he will be most grateful, I'm sure.
And she just motions. And you see Unge just kind of goes. And they do look both ways and look at you, and they're like,
Finn. Ah, we didn't think we'd see you again.
I just motion them forward. I'm like,
Yes, I hereby formally take you into the custody of Aslan's Kargat, and you'll be questioned once we return to Darkon. So keep a civil tongue in your heads, or perhaps don't wag them at all.
and they do just kind of look at Finn, and then they get it. They're not dumb. They're
yeah,
like,
I just
and you see Ace says, "Ah, man, I didn't know that lady was as dear to Aslan Rex when we was last in Darkon. I clear it with him. Don't worry about it. No problem. Don't you worry."
Ace.
And they do just sort of come and stand next to you, Finn. And you see Vladeska just says,
Our work is concluded. You have my permission to depart. With my thanks to Darkheart. But you must take a message to your king.
Yes.
One that I do not think you all understood. The soldiers were not impaled for cowardice. They were impaled for treason.
What do you mean?
They raised hand against me on purpose. That was not the plan.
And what concern do you think that Aslan Rex would have with people not standing behind you?
My message is not about the people not standing behind me. It is about how I deal with treachery.
I
Yes,
suppose we all have our ways.
we'll be sure to pass it on. Thank you so much, Supreme Commander. It has been lovely visiting Lakar and Falkovnia as a whole, but we must be on our way.
You see
Yes.
Unge steps up and he's like, I will guide them to the shortest path to the miss. By your leave. And she just says,
And
you see she turns and looks at the doorway of the temple and looks at you again, Nahara, which is a very different sentiment, her being burned and maimed, and just turns and walks away. And you see Katse looks at you, Tatiana, and she says, until next time then.
I speak back to her, straight into her mind, if she is in her beast form. And I say, I can't wait for the day.
And she turns and leaves after Vladeska Drakov. And Unge looks around and says, I can't help but assume you all wish to depart forthwith, yeah?
yes,
I'd like-
immediately.
To make
Yes,
a telepathic
please.
message to Fen
Mhm.
really quick
Mhm.
and just say, are we leaving?
Well, I think we could take her out. What about you?
I don't know the scope of her abilities. I just want to
She-
know if we start walking out, if there's going to be a bloodbath behind us, and how we can manage to stay together.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a bloodbath. I'm sure she's going to rout out others that were not in on her plan.
I'm concerned about you engaging with her. What
Why?
happens after we leave does not matter to me,
Why would you be concerned?
because the group I am currently traveling with is the only group I consider to be responsible for. Anyone outside of us is not my problem.
They're my problem.
All of the people of the city,
No, the 4 that I have with us now.
the 4 are coming with us. I'm saying if we are all able to leave, us and the 4, and go to the carnival, do we need this vengeance or can we just go?
I'm surprised at you, Valentine. I would have
Yes.
thought vengeance was your thing.
Vengeance is my thing when my vendetta is personal. Quite simply,
Like-
this city is not my problem.
But she did kill another version of Nahara. Doesn't that make it personal?
Nahara is here. I don't know the other winged creature that looks like her. I don't have any understanding of why that person exists. And if, sure, she were to slay the Nahara that stands in front of us, then yes, it would be personal. But starting a war over a corpse that we don't understand the existence of is not my intentions.
Oh, I wasn't talking about a war.
I'm fairly
was
certain
ta-
if we engage, it's going to be big. We can, and I will. I am saying if you want to fight, I'm not going to leave.
You're no fun.
I am asking for your. I am asking for you to take leadership.
You can ask, but I know that you won't listen.
You can choose not to believe me, but that makes this entire conversation pointless. If I offer to follow you and you decline, then there is nothing I can do to help you with your vengeance. So,
Well, luckily for her, I have to get our 4 friends back to Isolde. So I can wait for now, but this is going in my ledger.
And very much outside of this conversation and out loud to everybody else, we should go. We should really go.
Yes, no, Nahara's right. We really should go.
Do we just run for the mists, walk all at once?
No, I will escort you out of the city, huh?
Yes.
Ready.
Yes. Come along, Hildy.
You see, Hildy just nods, and Unge does proceed to guide you through the city, just idly picking at a lyre, not very well, like not trying to play any song in particular. And you see as you are passing, the northern side is just absolutely devastated. There's many places you can see down into the ground, down into the sewers. The buildings are knocked over and burned. There are burned corpses just laying in the streets, mostly just bits of corpses. Most of them were just eradicated. And the walls where they're still standing are completely like jet black and scorched. As he's guiding you along. And finally, is you all exit one of the gates to the city. Probably not 50 yards ahead, you can see the mist, but they look different this time. There's what looks like rows of lights hanging in them that look like when you all went into the carnival. And there's ambient organ music playing off in the distance. And he was like, that is unusual.
Hildy, do you have your ticket? Good.
I'll scoop up Hildy and carry her.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Hildy?
Nahara. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would it be all right for me to hold on to that ticket for you just for a moment? I'll give it back, I promise.
Yeah. Do you not have a ticket? Because I will share mine with you.
It's very kind of you. I promise I will give it back just momentarily.
And she hands it over to you. And Nahara, you see Unge look at you for a second and says, perhaps I could barter something on behalf of the child instead. Although, surely you intend to keep your word, yeah?
Of course, but what are you implying?
He sort of looks down at the lyre and he says, I am aware of the contents of the temple. Perhaps there will come a time that you wish to revisit Falkovnia, and the zombie meat is not always the best way to do so. And he holds out the lyre. My brothers enjoyed the music. I find no more reason to play.
Oh. I grab it from him. Yes, I do think there might come a day where I might return.
He looks at all of you and he says, I saw many things last night. You all are very brave and also very clever. Please do not take this the wrong way. I hope we do not meet again anytime soon.
Desmond smirks when he hears that. Just,
None taken. And I just, for a moment, feeling almost the same feeling that I had when I picked up the Taroka deck. And I can feel kind of the spirits move through me the moment I pick up this lyre and hold it in my hand.
All the leaves are brown.
Strange. Oh, thank you.
It would appear you are a natural. Until next time. And he just bows in front of you and he's just gone. You all are looking right at him. He's there and then he's just not there. You are muted, Brother Uriah.
Anyone see where he went?
Is that a were-rat thing? How did he do that?
I need to learn that. That was awesome.
And presumably you all enter the mist.
I put a hand onto Nahara.
Mm-hmm. Nahara, as you hold the golden ticket and concentrate, you realize it is actually very easy. It is almost like the carnival is calling to you. And even though you all experience that same shifting, odd displacement, the music and the lights guide you back until you step out onto the grounds of the carnival, past Pickwick Market, everything. Inside, it is a great day. People are playing games, and Hildy's eyes are huge.
Here we are, Hildy.
Here we are, Hildy.
This is the carnival. Fen can show you around.
Well, I have to return them. Why don't you show her around, brother?
I
Yes, of
need to
course.
stop in Pickwick Market real quick. After battle, you know.
Hildy, as I promised, here's your ticket.
Thank you. Thank all of you.
I will take Hildy over to that booth that has the stuffed animals.
And as you all head over there, Finn, where are you taking the four of them?
I give Hildy a pat on the head before Brother Ryer takes
And
her off.
she hugs your leg very
Aw.
tightly.
I need that, Hildy. I need that. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt you with my superior strength, you know. Brother Uriah, do they have this thing? What I heard the story is a hammer and it hits the belting.
Yes, they do have that. There's also all manner of confection. They have cotton candy. There is a
Why
booth-
would you make the candy out of cotton? That doesn't make any sense, brother.
No, it is candy that is similar to cotton in texture. You'll see. You'll see. There's a booth that will deep fry almost anything.
I must witness this thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, Finn, what do you do?
I take them straight to Isolde.
As you walk over to her tent, she comes out as they're approaching. And she looks at all of them and she says,
So what happened?
"It was terrible. They didn't want to come to the carnival or nothing. They said it's like a war was coming and they strung us up, was going to murder us in the daylight they was until Finn intervened, saved all of us." And Finn, she turns and looks at you and she goes, "Oh?"
I'll explain in full. I don't get all the credit, but we did have some issues in Felkovnia. I made a little note in my ledger of someone that I should pay a visit to later.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, I think there is someone you should be paying a visit to now. And she just motions towards her tent.
Well, I planned on that anyway.
Our business is nearly done here. We will be pulling up stakes soon.
The others are still with me. We also rescued a child. She was a bit traumatized, though. She saw her grandfather turned, and unfortunately, he took a bite out of Brother Uriah.
Do I have to destroy the cleric? Has he brought a zombie infestation to my carnival?
No, he has healed himself. He is a holy man.
Yes.
You know that I wouldn't bring that home to you or any other disease.
I would hope not, but on occasion mistakes are made. What is this child's name?
Hildy. She's running about with the cleric right now. She's a bit traumatized and she will need gentle handling.
You see, she just sort of looks in the direction that they went, and the sword Nepanthe glows for a moment, and she says, "I believe she will have extraordinary luck on the games of chance now."
That would make her day.
You are filthy.
I know. It was zombies and blood and guts and
Then come, I shall draw you a bath.
mm,
I shall
yeah.
wash your hair,
Oh, thank you.
and you can tell me all about it.
Do you have that nice oil that I like?
I ordered extra. You four. I'm glad you're alive. Now back to work. And they're like,
And I
happy
just
to
kind of
do.
wave them off.
Meanwhile, Desmond.
Yeah.
What does Desmond do here in the carnival?
Desmond tries to find the tent where they relaxed last time, so that he could see if he left any money in there, because he's headed to the bar. Like it's been some time, and he would very much like a tall mug of rum, if at all possible. Whatever beverages they have, he is down to drink something.
When you go over to that tent and pull the flap back, Rose is laying there on a settee, eating an apple. She says, rum?
How'd you know?
I'm perceptive.
That does not surprise me.
How was your trip?
Eventful.
Anything you care to share?
Nothing really worth sharing. Zombies, angry plants, a lot of fighting. Standard stuff.
Do you need me to inspect you for bites? You know, once a fever takes, it can be quite catching.
You know, it's a surprise. I haven't had a fever in years, and I'm pretty sure I haven't been bitten. Thanks for the offer, though.
You continue to deny me, which is unusual. I'm not accustomed to being denied, but I am very persistent.
I can tell. Doesn't surprise me at all that you're not used to getting denied.
She stands up and kind of smooths out her form-fitting gown, and she says, the carnival's going to pull up stakes soon, off to God's know where. But you and I will continue this sooner than later.
Will we?
You are not the only great hunter here.
I see what you did there.
And she walks very close to you and just turns slightly and slides past.
Have a good one, Rose. Good to see you again.
Enjoy the rum.
I hope to.
Valentine. Well, Tatiana has absconded. What is Valentine doing?
I'd like to wander the carnival, and I would like to try and find the booth where I got the stuffed animal. Brother Uriah and Hildy might be there, but where there was the carnival worker who seemed to know a little more. Are they there? Are Brother Uriah and Hildy?
They are, and Hildy has an absolute armload of stuffed animals. And you do see Rock, was the dwarf's name, is handing them out to her happily. I don't know how she's got such good luck. She's gonna clean me out of everything. I'm not gonna have any stuffed animals for anybody else.
Well done, Hildy. Look, you've got a boneless and some sort of plant creature, and suddenly something clicks in Uriah's head. Boneless and a plant creature. What else is there? What other animals are there?
There's a few things. There are some stuffed ghosts. There are 2 stuffed vampires, one of which has hearts in its eyes looking at one, and the other one is looking back with its fangs out. They're a match set. There are just gross, lumpy, misshapen stuffed balls with tentacles. And one that looks like a very sad bride.
Yes.
Do
Probably
I
nothing.
recognize that? I'm holding up the sad-looking bride.
When he holds up the sad-looking bride, it could be a stuffed Nika. Yeah. More importantly, Valentine, you are certain that was not there before.
I'm gonna come around. Is there like an entrance behind the counter into the booth that I can see?
Yeah.
I'm going in.
But Rock, you see, is standing kind of on a milk crate to see up and over the counter, and he goes,
Hey, wait a second, Red. I know we got along well last time, but you can't just barge in here like that.
I sit on the counter. Are there more of the like Nika looking stuffed animals?
There was only the one. Actually, there is a second one that also looks like the bride, but is covered in stitches, like it was taken apart and put back together again.
Where the hell did you get that?
Where'd I get what?
The bride.
I'm gonna let you all in on a little trade secret.
And he motions towards Hildy and makes like an earmuffs motion.
I don't stock any of this stuff. It sort of takes care of itself.
It just shows up here at the booth.
Just like I do every morning.
When did that start happening?
You are muted, Brother Uriah.
Yes, and I am curious as well, and I seem to recall there was a headless horseman figure here at one point.
There was a headless horseman and some evil-looking cat things. I don't know. Maybe they got loose.
I take the stuffed bride.
Hey, wait a second. You didn't even like play any games to win her.
And I walk out.
It's not a way to treat your friend.
I'm terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. Yes.
She knows what I mean, Padre.
I'll turn back around. If you know anything and you're not telling me, I will find out anyways. I promise you that.
In your head, you hear,
some things can't be told. They just gotta be discovered. If you don't know what I mean, it must not be time to find out. Oh, and by the way, I helped with that body dump problem you had before. You're welcome.
I don't know what makes you think that was my problem. But do me a favor. Keep an eye on these. This is not a toy.
Well, it's on the house.
I'm already like 15 feet away from the stand at this point. That's it.
And the night passes with some level of fun and relaxation had by all, and varying levels of fulfillment to be had in various areas of the camp. Until later that night, two friends find a quiet moment to reevaluate. And here, having found a quiet moment in the midst of the sea of chaos that two companions have found themselves thrust into, Finn and Uriah have a quiet moment to themselves to talk.
Uriah,
Finn?
are you okay?
I think so. It was horrible. There were so many we couldn't save.
Well, that's the way of war, unfortunately.
Yes, but war is one thing. This was slaughter.
It was, but I commend you for your bravery.
Bravery. I don't feel very brave.
Well, you're still here, aren't you?
I suppose so. But so many
And-
innocents are not.
Uriah, you're a man of faith.
I flatter myself to think so.
I can confirm that it's true.
Thank you, Finn.
You're welcome. It was senseless. A lot of people died that didn't need to, and yes, many were innocent, I'm sure. But for all those that died, imagine how many more would have perished had we not acted.
It is cold comfort, I fear. Is it always like this? I've not travelled much myself beyond the bounds of Darkon in my life. But these lands, each seems to present new horrors.
Unfortunately, this is often the way of the world we live in. Well, live.
Yes. You will forgive me. And please, do let me know if I am prying, but I've known you since I was a child, and yet I know so little of you. What you are now, was it always so? Were you given this gift, I suppose? Or some would call it a curse, though I have no desire to be rude.
Oh, dear brother, you're never rude to me. Do you mean just being a Dampier, or what you saw me change into before?
Dampier?
I'm...
I'll be honest, I've never really even understood the distinction. You are not, then, a vampire?
Not truly. I don't need to feed upon anyone's blood. I'm neither truly alive nor truly undead, although your magics and your spells do detect me as such.
Yes, though there's a strange dissonance. But then how did you come to be as you are?
My father was a full-blood vampire, and as such, it was passed on to me, and I'm what is known as a Dampier.
I'm astonished. I had no idea that vampires could sire progeny the old-fashioned way.
Well, neither did I until my mother told me the truth of things. And being amongst the drow, he found it very easy to hide who he was. We don't venture out much in the daylight, where we stay to dark places. He had no reason to fear sunlight until his nature became far too evident, and so did mine.
Were you cast out then?
A bit of both. I made a choice to leave to keep them safe and to find myself in the world.
And your father, does he still live? Does he still exist?
To my knowledge, yes. I offered to stay away from our home so as they would not worry about too blood drinkers in their midst, even though I don't need to partake, but I can choose to.
But why would you choose to if the hunger is not an absolute need? Why would
If
you
I,
choose?
mm, I choose mainly not to, but if I'm injured or if I may need a boost of power, I can opt to, but I don't have the thirst as a regular vampire does. I don't. Rather, you don't need to fear me suddenly looming over you to take a bite, Uriah.
Of course. I mean, of course, if you absolutely needed to, I do owe you my life.
Yes, but would you rather have an unlife in service to a friend?
Do you mean that you can create vampires?
Not vampire per se, but perhaps another Dampier. All of the ways were not imparted to me before I left.
Well, I no offense, but I would like to avoid that if at all possible.
Well, as someone who I care about, I wouldn't do that to you anyway.
Thank you. But yes, you did mention, shall we say, the other aspect that your appearance took on.
A gift of my lineage. One of the few things my father taught me to do before I left. At need, I can take on the form of, shall we say, a rather demonic side of my personality.
Yes, it is most fearsome, if I may.
And here, having learned some interesting, if not unsettling, details about his literally oldest friend,